Hello and welcome to our final segment of our Meet the MS Accounting Faculty Director series, a series of conversations designed to provide an in-depth look at what makes the University at Buffalo's MS Accounting program and its people so special. My name is Aaron Shaw. I'm the Assistant Director of Recruitment for our full-time MBA and MS programs. And a little bit of a teaser, the QR code here on your screen, I'm going to circle back to that at the end. So I promise more to come on that. But today I'm joined once again by one of those very special people that I was referring to, the MS Accounting Program Faculty Director, Professor Rose Hu. Professor Hu, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you again, Aaron.
Now, if you missed either of the first two segments, Professor Hu provided us with a ton of great details about herself, her role as the MS Accounting Faculty Director, and the MS Accounting Program as a whole. You can view those in our digital library. And again, I'll show you here before we wrap up today exactly how to do that. But in this final segment, we'll be discussing the connections between the MS Accounting Program, the University of Buffalo, and the Buffalo communities, and how they play a bigger role in the overall big picture. So without further ado, here we go. And my first question, Professor Hu, what opportunities and challenges do you see at the university level?
Thanks, Aaron, and happy to talk about this. So I'll start with the opportunities end, and one thing that's in a previous segment I talked a little bit about is we are a large university. UB is an excellent pillar in the SUNY system here in New York State, and that affords us a great deal of opportunity to be part of a large system that has the resources to and the wherewithal to offer a really great program at a great value. And so along with that, that means we've of course had a lot of students over the years, and after they're students, what are they? They're alumni. And so I see that as a huge opportunity as well, because we have alumni, of course, throughout Western New York, of course, throughout New York State, but really actually throughout the world as well. In fact, I remember I've mentioned I'm an alum. I remember friends and students that I had alongside me when I was a student, and I actually still keep in touch with them. My roommate from my sophomore year of college was from South Korea, and just a couple years ago, I had her back in Buffalo. We enjoyed kind of being around the city and enjoying all the spots that we used to enjoy together, and enjoying time with each other's husbands, and just having that camaraderie of that alumni base. Why does that matter to you as a prospective student to our program, though? Having alumni all across the corners of the world is network, it's connections. And I really love that so many of our alumni love to stay connected to our program and connected to the university as a whole through things like service, through recruiting. A lot of them are folks that come back and want to hire our grads because they remember what great professional preparation it was for them. And then also just from the perspective of even philanthropy. So many of our alumni are very generous in their giving back to our program, and that means scholarship money. So we have a very fortunate to have a great deal of scholarship money that is available to our students. So if you want to pursue coming to our program and exploring what sort of scholarships might be available, certainly keep an eye out for all sorts of scholarships that we help connect you to through that. Other challenges from that is sort of the other side of that coin, that we are a large university, and I always encourage people to get connected, but that does take some being proactive. So get involved in those student clubs, in organizations that are going to connect you with those alumni. Get involved with other things in the School of Management. I love that we have so many different programs for things like giving back to the community and creating spaces for people to live and learn together.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And speaking of those communities, what role do you see the MS Accounting program playing in the larger School of Management, UB at the university level, and the Buffalo communities?
So as an MS accounting program, we are that professional preparation for people that are becoming CPAs. And so entering that professional workforce, think about that skill set. That is a unique skill set that we bring to the table in all spheres of sort of that bullseye, right? Like right within our school of management, within the university, and then broadly in our Buffalo community as a whole. So a couple of things. For example, some of our students get involved in the local community and schools that I'm talking like secondary education, sometimes even elementary education, helping students learn about financial literacy, getting to know what sort of career paths are available to them in things like financial information professions and accounting. And this we'll kind of get to this in a couple of the next questions, but accounting, there's a challenge in our field that underrepresented minorities are vastly underrepresented in our profession currently. And so I see a lot of opportunity for that, but I love how our students have really taken personal responsibility for roles. Students and faculty have taken personal responsibility for roles, getting involved in our community, in our spheres of influence, to be able to make a meaningful difference. Accountants have a unique skill set, and I'm really proud of how they've done that. A couple other ways in terms of supporting people like entrepreneurs in our community. There is a need for accountants in all sorts of different ways. I've talked in this segment and others about the variety of different paths that accountants can take for their careers, and there are needs for each one of them. And so as a program, we are very proud of, yes, preparing each individual student for a successful career that they shape, but also we are preparing each individual student to be people that are useful and meaningful for our society as a whole, that are making a difference in our world. And I'm so proud that our students and our faculty enjoy that. Like, they want to make a difference in this world. They want to be part of a program that is making a difference in the community. I've also seen a lot of students and we have faculty leading this as well, get involved in like honors programs and global programs and others, so their impact goes even broader into how they can continue to prepare themselves personally and be global citizens that are making a difference in their world, even if it's in our own little niche of an accounting area.
Yeah, inspirational stuff. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, so my next question is aimed at a topic that I'm sure is on not only a lot of people's minds, but on organizations' minds as well, is diversity, equity, and inclusion. And, the question can go a lot of different ways, in terms of answers, but for you specifically, what does diversity mean to you?
Yeah, absolutely. It has been something that truthfully has always been important to me, and I'm really so grateful that we as a world are more consistently having this top of mind as something that we need to continue to change and improve in our society. And our society includes our program, our school, and I'm very proud to be part of a team right up from the leadership of our school, our dean, we have roles within the school that are specific to promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion goals and being accountable to those. And so all of that said, I'm very proud of the leadership that we have as a school. And what does it mean to me as faculty director of our program? I don't think we can talk about just the word diversity itself, nor do I want diversity, equity, inclusion, DEI to just, roll off the tongue as a phrase. But what does it mean? Diversity, equity, and inclusion, that all people are created equally and worthy and deserving of love and care and a solid education and a career path that they're passionate about, and for us to help them in pursuing that so they can be that meaningful contributor to society that is valued for who they are, not just what they do. And who they are can be diverse on all sorts of different angles, right? Like we're multidimensional human beings. It's not just gender or race or sexual orientation or any of the above, but you are a whole person. And so diversity means diversity. I'll put that together with inclusion, for example, means to me that our program supports and empowers all people. We care about you. We want to see you succeed. And so in terms of cultivating diversity in our program and honestly in the accounting field in general, I'm really personally passionate about being a mentor to all students. And sometimes that looks like students that maybe have never had a mentor before or don't know what it means to be able to have somebody like advocate for them and have someone be in their corner. It also looks like making sure that we are recruiting into the program from a diverse range of areas, that we are working to support all people that work to come into our program. So it's a lot of different things. You're right, Erin. There's no succinct one way to put it, but I'm very proud that our school and our program takes pride in having diversity among our student base and among our faculty, so that we can be meaningful in supporting diverse representation in our profession.
Yeah, it's absolutely celebrated, to say the very least. Okay, so along the same lines, but again, thinking bigger picture, potentially university level as well, how are you thinking about how UB and then specifically the MS accounting program can prepare a more diverse set of leaders to graduate in the future?
One of the things that has been on my mind for a long time and will continue to be, I'll use the word struggle. Like I think sometimes hard struggle work, it's important to acknowledge that because it's worth it. It is important to struggle through it, but is how do we diversify the profession? It's not just the end goal of the profession, it's then how do we diversify graduate school students? How do we diversify undergraduate students? Well, then we have to make sure we introduce it to students at least high school, sometimes even before that. So I alluded to this earlier, but one of the ways that I'm really passionate about doing that is making sure that we invest in future leaders. And yes, that's of course part of my role, building into the leaders that are already in our program or coming into our program. But even more than that, building into school kids in the Buffalo community. And I'm really proud to be nurturing some budding relationships with schools that can help students understand, hey, college is an option for you. And we want to support, getting undergrad and graduate students in front of them, undergraduate and graduate students of diverse backgrounds, so they can see what sort of paths are available and can support them in connecting them with resources to make that possible.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you again. Okay, my final question for our final segment is going to take a look at all of these connections and how they tie in with careers. And I'm actually going to steal a line from our Career Resource Center, if you're not familiar, also known as the CRC, but begin with the end in mind. And in some capacity, if you're a prospective student, career prep should always be a part of the daily balance. But for our students that graduate from the MS accounting program, they've done so successfully, right? And with that word in mind, success has a different definition for a lot of different scenarios for a lot of different people. But in relation to this conversation, what does success look like for our students if they're getting the job that they want? And I want to reemphasize want.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mentioned in segment one, go back and listen to that if you haven't already, but about a little bit of my background and what I teach and whatnot. And one of the courses I teach is our undergraduate audit course. And every semester that I have taught that course thus far, I have ended the course with a quote, an idea that I kind of want to launch them out into the world in. And so I kind of think about that when I think about this question, that like, what does define success? You will be remembered for success, not for the money you make and all of that, but for how people remember you. And so when I think about what does success look like, if you get the job that you want to be in that career path because of the difference that you are making. And for accountants, that's often in our client facing roles, serving whatever in whether that's external audit, serving an external audit client, whether that's helping to prepare an individual's tax return and getting the largest refund they can or whatever it is. But feeling success of I've made a difference, and I am using my technical competencies as an accountant to make a difference in the lives of people in the ways that fulfill me professionally. So for me personally, that also looked like being a successful alum that enjoyed coming back to campus and investing in then the future generation of leaders. So it might not look the same to every alum, right? Not every alum comes back and teaches, though many, there are several of our faculty members are very proud UB alum. But it often does look like looking fondly back on your time at UB as well, and knowing what it was like to be prepared in that professional way, and then going on to have that success, serving your clients, making a meaningful difference in this world. And then coming back, speak to our classes or speak to student clubs and share what it is about that career that you've gotten and found success in that you enjoy, so you can continue to inspire future CPAs of tomorrow.
Great stuff. Extremely motivating. Thank you. But that's all for us today. Professor Hu, thank you so much for providing tremendous insight once again on how the MS Accounting program is interconnected to different corners of the university, the Buffalo community, and beyond.
It was my pleasure, Aaron. Thank you.
Speaking of connections, we're glad that you're considering the UB MS Accounting program, but we want you to stay connected. We want to hear from you. And you can do that by, as I alluded to earlier, taking out your cell phone, opening your camera, and waving it over that QR code. Once you've done so, follow the links to do numerous things, ranging from scheduling one-on-one advising appointments to attending recruiting events, browsing our website, social media, and so much more, to include access to our digital library, in which you can view this segment along with the previous 2 recorded segments as well. That's going to do it for us here today. Thank you. Take care and goodbye.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.